Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joel, and this is the O2 Drop. This is WA's VGC podcast, coming from Perth, home of Australia's most fraudulent regional championships. Today, I'm joined by my friends, fresh from Adelaide, Dan.
Asad,
The ever-radiant Ethan.
What?
And, of course, everyone's favourite, Chris.
did you guys see the latest episode of America? Oh, that season finale.
That season finale. I, for one, welcome our God Emperor Trump.
Do you?
No, not at
You're
all.
fired.
You're fired, but I don't want to be on the hit list.
No.
So first thing first, conversations about the top X for regional, for Oceania region. So I had some interesting conversations over the last 2 weeks about top X and how that affects people going to Worlds. And I just want to get your guys' quick take on that. So effectively the top X, when you look at points in Australia, the point distribution is like a chi distribution where K equals 1, or
Here we go with this shit again.
Math.
for those of us that aren't nerdy, it's like a 1 over X ascendant.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So it goes really high and then it has a huge tail. So I think in TCG, between like the person who had 400 points, which was like 40th or something, and the last invite, which was like 130th, 100 points.
Okay.
Amongst nearly 100 people. And in VGC, that was 18th had about 400 points, and then the 51st had 300 points. So again, a big...
How much did number 52 have?
Fuck you, that's how many.
I don't know. We can ask him if you want.
It's fine. My point's been made.
So the point about that is that we have a very big tail of people who have received invites in 2024 that have probably done it by just attending like all the regionals and all their locals, haven't gone anywhere. The people that have the really big amounts of points, they've already committed to going to international events. Like the top TCG point getter had 1,600, second place had 1,000, third had like 900. And in VGC, I think Khan got 1,100, and then Rattle had 880, and Multiboy had like 860.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts.
Something like that.
So these are people who have committed to going international. So that begs the question, is a Worlds invite actually still very attainable? You just have to commit to going to regionals.
I happened to be in the tail, and I was happy in the tail because at least in the tail, it's still attainable, at least in your head. But I don't know. We've already discussed it. I just think that it's going to sever this tail. We're going to be a slowpoke tail from gold and silver.
It'd be worth a lot of money at least.
Yeah.
Very tasty. Yeah.
And because we're going to be severed because I feel like I don't have the time or money to invest to travel to every single international or big regional event that's, doable. So I don't know. I guess I don't like it.
I don't either, but Ethan?
Well, one could argue that it was sort of the case already, even before these changes were implemented, that people who did travel more and go to bigger and more events were getting more higher CP totals anyway. So in terms of Oceania players anyway, I think that would be true. A lot of the world's competitors, they would already be on the race and getting ahead of everybody else to a magnificent extent just by going to NAIC, EOIC and placing wherever they place. So it does beg the question, at least to me, like, have these changes even made much of an impact in the the direction in which they were intended to make at all? Is it just the case that nothing has actually changed except everything is shittier now, just like everything in this rotten world?
It may not have changed, but it confirms what was always like suspicion anyway. It confirms it now is locked behind a paywall. It confirms that because now you have to travel.
Comments, Dan, and I don't mean to keep bringing it up as the first person to miss out in VGC.
We would really like your input in particular.
But you have made the comments already on previous episodes that you potentially could have got it if you just, did a GC, but you were at Melbourne. So like,
I think we should just open it up to an arbitrary number, like maybe 52, top 52 get the invite to Worlds. I don't know. That seems like a good number.
That's a pretty perfect number. Actually.
Yeah, I think so. I think the main problem is that, American company is looking at the circuit kind of as an America thing where all these regionals are close for these people to travel to. I mean, even in Europe, you can jump on a train and then boom, you can win a special event like Tayo did. Like, if you see everyone on Twitter who was comparing their cost, how much it cost for them to get Worlds, he spent $50 for a train trip and then he got Worlds. Whereas our country's so big and we get so few regionals that it's 6-hour odd flight to get the other side of the country.
Yeah,
we don't have a circuit.
Exactly. It's $1,000.
Yeah.
For a shitty weekend away from Melbourne.
And a holiday inn or some shit.
Yeah. So I think we should stop treating it as like a world that every country has the same circuit and look more at the regions and not just do the whole Band-Aid approach of, hey, this place gets less regionals, they get a lower bracket, a lower amount to get in.
Yeah. I like it. Okay. Twitter talk. In the last week, Joe Merrick put a post on Twitter. For those who don't know, Joe Merrick is the founder of Cerebi, and he has put up a post. Also, interestingly, the official notes for the Dragonite raids and Larvitar, Bagon, Gloomy, and Beldum outbreaks labels them as powerhouse Pokemon. This was also used for a recent merchandise line featuring the Pseudo Legends. I think we have an official name for this group. So the group of Pokemon that we, for 25 years, have referred to as pseudo-legendaries, we've just been told are actually called powerhouse Pokemon. How does that make you guys feel?
Because pseudo-legendaries is a fan-made term, similar to shinies, but they actually made shinies official. I guess they've decided that powerhouse Pokemon is their preferred name. And I've seen a lot of talk and turn about how these hit, and also on YouTube, like some people think the names hit quite hard and they like them. Other people are like, no way, I'm never going to refer to them as powerhouse Pokemon. That's lame. I'm not saying Pseudo Legendaries is a great name either, but I think powerhouse Pokemon sounds a little lame. It doesn't really. Powerhouse just sounds a bit childish. It is a child's game. I know that. I'm not a huge fan. I don't really have a better suggestion, but I don't know if I'll be referring to them as powerhouse Pokemon.
Ethan, how's your reaction to this news? I saw some contorted faces as I was reading the tweet.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it. Even besides the fact that it just sounds fucking lame. All I see there is just the multi-billion-dollar corporation once again erasing a historical fan-made term because they hate everything that's fan-made for the sake of a fucking merch line.
Classic Nintendo.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
Dan and I are both T-Tar lovers. Like, how do you feel about T-Tar being referred to as a powerhouse Pokemon?
It's such a shit name.
It really is.
It sounds like they got AI to generate it, which is ironic since that won most of that art competition recently. So
yeah, if I didn't mention this, but like a lot of the entries had the wrong number of fingers on Pikachu. It was really obvious AI.
Jesus. Okay, my second follow-up tweet.
Wait, what do you think about it, Joe?
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah, good.
It makes me angry, like I want to punch something. Like I feel like my childhood has been stolen again by another
this
corporation.
is where I'm at.
They've never actually used this term in game.
They haven't,
we
but
can
everyone
ignore it.
who's played the game has called it Pseudo Legend.
Yeah.
Watch them put powerhouse Pokemon into Legends like Zygarde whatever the hell that game's called.
Quickly, can I ask, quickly, Paul, do you consider Arcalodon a pseudo-legendary / powerhouse Pokemon? It has a 600 BST,
No.
but not a stage 2 like
No.
the other ones.
Yeah, I think they have to be 3 stages,
Yeah.
at least by the fan definition, which I guess is no longer relevant.
But if it was a powerhouse Pokemon, it
No,
counts.
yeah.
They all evolve at like after level 50 or something too. They're quite
Yeah.
late. Yeah.
I think Arculodon is definitely a powerhouse Pokemon, but it's not a pseudo-legendary.
In the
anymore.
colloquial sense.
I was just curious to know because it's got the 600 BST.
It uses an item as well to evolve, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, something alloy or I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know
Which
what.
none of the others do, so.
Okay, so further in my Twitter musings, Robbie VGC at VGC Robbie has done a tier list where he separated the tiers out into restricteds and then non-restricteds. So in restricted S tier, the 2 horses, Koraidon, Miraidon, A tier, Kyogre, Zamazenta, and B tier, Terrapagus, Zacian, Lunala.
That's spicy.
First of all, what's Koraidon doing in S tier?
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably his personal favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
get rid of the bias, mate.
I'm
I
not-
saw this tier list and I thought it was garbage.
I was going to say,
Wait till you see what they put in Incineroar.
I was going to say, should we get the non-restricted Pokemon is far more interesting than that one era of Koraidon being S tier.
Just seems like they saw, hey, Koraidon has a black shiny. Hell yeah, S tier, let's
I
go.
don't know. I want Koraidon to be good. I want
I
it to
want it
get
to be
tournament
good too.
results. I don't think it's fully been cracked yet in the same way that say Miraidon has, but
Yeah, had that
Yeah.
one special event win, and then we never heard of it ever
At
since.
the 43-person
Yeah.
special
yeah,
event.
yeah.
like as much as I hate it, I think that horses and Miraidon rule the meta right now, and Koraidon doesn't match up to that.
No, I agree. So standalone in S tier, Raging Bolt.
I think it is S tier, but
Yes, but
Okay.
standalone.
By itself.
The silence says everything, I think.
I think there's other ones that should be there.
Yes.
I don't think it's S in this format. I think it was S in like non-restricted formats. I think
No.
it's taken a hit this one.
I tend to agree, but I suppose the Fire, Water, Grass, Raging Bolt core is still popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Incineroar, whereas Rillaboom. What's
Okay,
the point?
so
There
in,
is
in,
Rapid Strike.
in A plus, Rapid and Rilla, and that's it.
Wait, now there's pluses?
That has pluses, yeah.
There's A minuses and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
It's very detailed.
It's an interesting tier list. So in A tier, this is unordered by the author. Incineroar, Chien Pao, Chi Yu, Flutter, Amoonguss, and Hands.
Interesting. Like, I have been. I mean, obviously, Incineroar is always going to be good, but I think there is like a little bit of give in there, whether it's like the best Pokemon of all time or it's just really good, depending on different kind of meta things. Because obviously, yes, it's a dark type that can soak up all of the all the big ghost type attacks and deal with this and that. But with everything running Clear Amulet or Covert Cloak and all the Kaliesa Terra Fairy Draining Kiss, I just wonder if, while Incin is very, very good at kind of being there and throwing out Intimidate on certain things, is it really doing that much? I mean, Rillaboom is there for fake out and it also brings terrain control and pivoting. But yeah, I get the feeling that stat drops aren't quite as much of a factor as they have been in other regs this gen, definitely. So I guess the argument could be made. I mean, it's still fucking Incineroar, so like, what's it doing in
I was,
like
I was
A
going to
flat?
say it's still Incineroar. What is
Yeah.
it doing
I
in
would
A flat?
argue how many regional wins has it got since Reg G's dropped? Because I feel like it's won all of them, hasn't it?
I think it has been part of all of them. I could be wrong on
So
that.
I mean, at what point do you go, well, hey, maybe it is doing something?
Mm.
It just kind of seems like this tier list is like across all of the regs as well, taking the like Flutter shouldn't be there right now. I don't think. Not
Yeah, I
on the
don't
same
think Flutter
level.
is A tier. And then, you know, he's got like Tornadus, Grimmsnarl, Whimsicott all in A minus, the neck in A minus,
Oh, the other neck, right?
the throat goat.
Yeah.
the throat goat.
I would say Faragiraffe is higher than A minus.
I would as well. And then you've got, like Indeedee in B minus.
I kind of agree. Like in B, just in general, I don't like the minus and pluses. It just
Yeah.
adds like another level to it. But like, I feel like what B is when it's like a niche kind of team comp it works on, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the vibe from this list. Like it's got the Ursaluna guts. It's got Clefairy, Landorus, Screamtail, Ting-Lu, Wo-Chien, all those, Latios, all in this B plus through minus tier. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting tier. Obviously, some picks you go, yes, but I think Raging Bolt standalone in S tier is not it.
No.
It's got to get some right on.
Yeah, even if you take it across all of the gens, I mean, it's only been all the regs. Sorry, it's only been in 2 regs, and it was really good in one of them, not as good as Incineroar, and in this one, it's been not as good as in Reg F, but still pretty good, not as good as Incineroar. And I mean, it's okay into Miraidon, as you say, but it just gets Volt Switched on or Dracoed for an Oko.
Yeah.
And if it Terra Fairies, then it gets Volt Switched on for more damage than it would have if it didn't. So I don't know. It just kind of.
It was a weird list.
Yeah.
Mm.
We should invite them on the show so we can discuss this very civilly in person.
Yes.
What's
civilly.
with your tier list?
We just want to talk.
So before we get on to Victory Road to Honolulu, any other Twitter posts from the week, Chris?
Well, I mean, I feel like we can't go past a certain presidential candidate assassination attempt, because that was the Pokemon Twitter did turn that into some comedy gold. Now, I want a disclaimer, all right? The O2 drop does not endorse political violence or gun violence in any way or shape or form.
No.
All right? We do not endorse anything. And if you come for us, my sister Claire is now dating a corporate lawyer. I just want to put that out there. So we are covered. But there was some funny shit, I must admit. Before the shooter was identified, there was posts
As a Republican.
before he was identified as his name, there was posts on Twitter that the shooter was Chi Yu because it missed, which I thought was funny. There was tweets saying, "This is why you run Dragon Pulse over Draco Meteor."
I saw that one.
Yep. Yeah, that 100% accurate move. There was someone laddering on Pokemon Showdown over the weekend with the account name Trump's right ear.
It immediately got registered. It's so funny.
Yeah. There was so I don't know if everyone's actually ever studied a Gumshoe. It's not even in. It's been Dexted. It's not even in Gen 9. But Gumshoes that looks like Donald Trump with the hair actually has a nick in its right ear. And it actually looks like Pokemon have done a Simpsons and predicted the future when they designed Gumshoes, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. I also wanted to. So Chopper Cross, we all know who that is. He had
Doso guy.
Yeah, he's a guy. Yeah. He had,
Chop across the 4th.
Don Doso guy.
yes.
Yes.
He had some very funny memes, for tweets, I should say, about the presidential debate. And you know how Biden was looking a bit senile, a bit forgetful. He's been making mistakes all week, calling people the wrong names, really badly mixing things up.
I mean, the election really is the South Park turd sandwich and giant douche.
Yeah. So Chopper's been tweeting, Biden just tried to use fake out in psychic terrain. There's no way he can stay in the race now. Oh, God, now he's trying to protect in front of Urshifu. Very funny.
Just trying to T-wave Goldango. Stop it.
He did look like he was on 1 HP as well.
Yeah.
Focus sash held him in there.
I'm going to give a couple of Chris honorable mentions. All right,
Okay.
this has become a regular thing of mine, and I've got to give out 2. This is a bad, negative, dishonorable mention for those that are just listening for the first time. Go back and watch all the other episodes as well.
Oh, no.
Listen to. So, Chris honorable mention. Firstly, so I don't know if you saw this drama on Twitter, but at Worlds this year, the Pokemon Center, the pop-up Pokemon Center there, like where you buy your merchandise, has a registration system.
Yes.
Rather than just having a regular fucking store where you can just rock up and buy shit, they have to make it complicated by creating a registration system, which then crashed because they can't design a simple web. They can't. I mean, if you've ever tried to use TCG Live, you know what like Pokemon software's like, or if you ever played a game before it got patched. But yeah, so the registration system crashed, and people couldn't actually register to go into the merchandise store at Worlds. I mean, how complicated does this need to be? There's only a few hundred people going.
as complicated as possible.
I just can't. So dishonorable mention to the whoever does their websites and just the
shitty
Pokemon
web dev who they employed for that.
I know you're a small indie company, Pokemon, but please just stop making everything so difficult. And there's also, I'm giving a honorable mention to Ultimate Spice Gaming, which is a TCG group in America. Then they have like sponsored players and stuff, right? I don't know if you saw this drama on Twitter as well. And there was a couple of players that got done for, sexual harassment comments and people leaked DMs. I keep saying to people, I've said this before in previous episodes, stop saying dumb shit in DMs and group chats because someone's going to leak it and screenshot it. But they were doing some sexual harassment stuff. There was a bit of homophobic comments. So they got leaked. He pretty much got cancelled. One of the players was Jose Marrero. They got outed on Twitter. So Ultimate Spice Gaming came out and said, we've withdrawn them from our team. We're no longer sponsoring them. Blah, 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 trying to like save face. And then it all went downhill from there. Let me just find the tweets. So yeah, Ultimate Spice Gaming, hello, we apologize for our tiredness, been away on vacation. So they basically disowned the players, Alec Geisler and Jose Marrero from their sponsorship, saying we're parting ways with them after their comments got leaked. Then Jose came out. First of all, he changed his Twitter handle to still sponsored Jose Marrero.
Jesus.
Yep. And then DMs got leaked from Jose saying, never mind, I'm still sponsored, grinning face. Post was made to make the gay boys happy. So he bragged in DMs that he was actually still being sponsored by Ultimate Spice Gaming, and they just said that to save face in the public. And
then he doubles down.
And doubles down on the homophobia. So these screenshots then went on Twitter and was like, well, what the hell is this then? And then Ultimate Spice Gaming basically got cancelled as well because they were just lying douchebags who were
they
still...
didn't actually stop sponsoring.
I can't get over the name Ultimate Spice Gaming.
Yeah, so I don't know if Ultimate Spice Gaming were just kind of set up there by Jose or not, but just the whole shit show debacle. Like the TCG community, I don't know if most of you guys probably don't follow the TCG side of things. I play both, so I try to watch both. Every week, someone in TCG is getting cancelled for some dumb shit. It's worse than VGC by far. So, dishonorable. Yeah, Aaron's nodding in the corner.
TCG attracts the incels.
Yeah, dishonorable mention or honorable mention to those idiots as well involved in that fiasco.
We need like a name for this, like Patel's Pals or something. I feel like we could really coin a term for who's been cancelled this week.
It honestly,
honorable mentions.
we've talked about Mouth Breather of the Year award. Like, I think it's a really difficult decision.
It is.
It's weekly.
We're gonna have to tabulate these before Worlds and figure out who is the actual Mouth Breather of the Year.
That could be fun.
I love how his DMs got leaked and he's just like, you know what? It won't happen a second time. Oh no.
I am invincible. Okay, so on to Victory Road to Honolulu. This was a pay-to-enter Victory Road tournament. About 280 participants, and they did it in the Worlds format. So I think they played 8 rounds on day 1 and then 3 or 4 rounds on day 2. Asymmetric top cut, but it didn't actually need to be asymmetric. It was a clean 16. Won by Federico Camporesi with Ice Horse. Ice Horse supported by Rillaboom, Ogerpon Cornerstone, Urshifu, and Two Necks. Two Necks.
The double throat goat.
The double throat goat. How do we feel about that team winning probably the biggest event prior to Worlds?
It's just picked up my phone. That is just a restricted date. I don't get too excited.
Run me through the team again.
I mean, for starters, why were they at a terrible time for Australian players to come? And this is, again, favoritism against us.
Yeah.
We could not enter if we wanted to.
So, Ethan, it was Calyrex Ice, Rilla, Ogerpon Corner, Urshifu, and the Two Necks.
Okay, which Urshifu?
God, they have not differentiated.
I'm glad while he's looking
I think it was Surging.
Yeah. I'd imagine water on that comp. Yeah, it's an interesting build. I mean, it's mainly just kind of Firewater Grass, Raging Bolt. Cornerpon is very, very cool and interesting.
Well, the rest of the world's finally caught up to Cornerpon.
Yeah.
Cornerpon. We started that shit.
I think it's just an Ogerpon that doesn't die in one hit to most big hits. We've talked about this before, I think. It's just picked up because everything's too strong for Wellspring and Hearthflame.
There was one Aussie who made top 16, Oliver Ramsey.
Shout out them for just getting no sleep that weekend.
Yeah, good work. Good work, Oliver. It must be nice to not have a job. Because that's the only way you're doing that if you're missing work on Monday morning. Holy heck. Shout out to my Dutch friend, Robbie Charge. Finished in top 8 of this event with Koraidon, Venusaur, Ursaluna, Guts, Chi-Yu, Porygon 2, and the Electric Neck.
Robbie that name rings a bell. Wasn't he a Worlds finalist last year? I think he was in seniors or something.
I think so. It's definitely a new name.
Yeah.
You said he was your friend.
Because he's Dutch and my heritage is Dutch.
Oh, that's a wishy-washy claim I've ever heard.
No, I think he was like the seniors runner-up.
I think it is, yeah, a senior.
He was really, really tilted after he lost. That's the only reason I remember.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. We love the Dutch.
Okay, you have the restricted usage from this event for us, do you, Chris?
Like when I was scouring Twitter for dishonorable mentions, I did get like a screenshot of the top 5 restricteds. I don't know.
Just to shit on
I don't
me.
know what's below the top 5, whether there was other ones there probably were, but I mean Shadow Rider.
Probably the top 10.
I don't have the top 10. I'm sorry. You can go find it while I shit talk for a few minutes if you like. Calyrex Shadow Rider was 29.6% on day 1, and then day 2 was 41% of the day 2 teams. That's pretty dominant. And remember when everyone wrote that Pokemon off at the start of the format? And then you got
It wrote
Calyrex.
itself off because it was doing shit.
Calyrex Ice Rider was 15.5% day 1 usage, 18% day 2 usage. Miraidon, 14.8% day 1, 21% of day 2. Kyogre was 10.8% on day 1, 13% on day 2. And then your beloved Pokemon, Joel, Terapagos, I'm saying Terapagos. 7.9% usage on day 1, 0% on day 2 because it's a shit washed mon.
Terapagos is king of my heart.
Not king of the CP though.
No.
Why don't we have a I like turtles soundbite yet? I think.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that kid?
He likes turtles.
He's got a redemption on Tosh.0 if you remember that show.
Oh, I do. Oh my God, that's a throwback.
Man, that finish kind of makes me a bit worried for Worlds, honestly. I've kind of had the sense, I mean, just from following different things, like different little tournaments and laddering on Showdown and things, I get the very acute sense that the meta has been solved a little bit in the sense that both Horses and Miraidon, just as a bit of a golden triangle, are so overbearing and so broken that like anybody trying to make anything else work are just kind of coping.
Unless you got Wide Guard Pelipper.
Yeah, which is the cure to all ills.
Or Zamazenta. Wide Guard. Where is S tier Koraidon in this?
Nowhere.
Stats.
Nowhere in these usage stats.
Like I said, it's cope.
Yeah.
I think the big meta shift at the moment is everything is like a fake out blocker. There's like priority blocker is huge at the moment. Like a lot of Frigorous, a lot of Serenas.
Because it's the only way to deal with fake out plus massive special attack them on.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Amoongus with Covert Cloak just so that they can
funny.
Just so that they can sit there and spore the Incineroar while you've got like Calyrex Shadow next to it. It's a pretty wild strategy. What do you guys want from the next format, though? Do you want to go
Literally
into
anything else?
Megas in Paris?
Do you guys want to go to GC2 with the double restricted, or do you want to have a different format in between? Do you want to have a ban format, go back to no restricteds?
Can I go first here? Because I want surprise DLC, bring back Ultra Beasts, and then I'm solved Reg H.
Reg H.
What Ultra Beast solves it?
All of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Guzzlord. Yes.
Guzzlord.
Terra Guzzlord could be some spice.
Could be.
Yeah. I whatever. Also, can we? I just don't like not having every Pokemon in the game. Can we please? I want Lopunny back. I just feel like it's homophobic not having that in the game. Very popular for all the fairies and the gays. We love that shit. I do think 2 restricted would be fun because it makes those B tier restricted like Ho-Oh and
You take that back.
and Ho-Oh and things like that. Lunala, this lift's like here, so he can't abuse me. Lunala, it makes them better. So I think that would be good. But how we're not going to have we're not going to have a whole year of that for next year's Worlds, right?
Will
so
we end up with a year-long double restricted
I
format again?
really hope not.
GC3, 3 restricteds.
Just 6 restricted.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
fuck it.
go.
They could just throw in like the mythical format, right? At some point.
Not again.
Not again.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
a fan.
But they've like Dexited a whole bunch of mons, so it could.
have,
It's
yeah.
like mythicals with bans in a sense.
I think they've shot themselves in the foot here. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it happened too quickly. This progression.
yeah, and the
We were
games just
saying
haven't
that
got enough
last year
content.
before last
Yeah.
year's Worlds.
There's just not enough. Unless they do more DLCs or we get like a surprise. If Legends Z to A comes out earlier than we expect and they introduce more stuff. I just don't know.
don't say that.
I don't think that. I don't see Legends Z being a competitive game.
Well,
Yeah, but I think it's going to have the same effect that Legends
On the
Arceus
next
did.
gen.
Well, what Legends Arceus did, where you could like transfer,
Home transfer.
Ursa Luna and
Yeah.
stuff.
Overquill.
But they have to put it in the game,
Sneasler.
right?
Yeah.
and
Oh, dear.
no one's found anything in
Just bring the
files.
Tapus in. They'll make it. They'll shake it up.
Tapus would be
Tapus?
great.
Yeah.
Ultra Beast and Tapus. Why not both?
Paquelos S2.
Yes, exactly right.
Just remake that gen at that point.
Ethan.
I mean, I'll always prefer the idea of a double restrictive format to a single restrictive format. But I don't know, at this point, yeah, I probably couldn't stomach a whole year of it. I think this single restrictive format in particular, Reg G, has kind of really showed the cracks in the Terra format. And I kind of said the same thing about Dynamax back when Series 12 came out in Sword and Shield. And that sort of ended up pulling up all right because there was a lot of things. But I don't know. I look at the format right now and I look at broken shit like Calyrex and think about how the combination of items like Covert Cloak and Clear Amulet and the advent of Terra just completely breaks those mons in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no counterplay. You just sit there and hope that you can take a +2 Astral Barrage because there's no way you're stopping them.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting you say that because before we started recording, we were talking about like your beloved Terrapagos, Joel. How does it exist after this generation of games? Like, because it's like a stellar
They
type,
have to carry forward something.
or they have to change something.
or have an item that it carries to allow that.
So do you? There was discussion about whether Terra is going to be become like a permanent fixture in Pokemon now. Or do you think that's a thing? Anyone on the panel?
It might just go the way of Ultra Necrozma, to be honest, because after
just get
Z-moves,
shelved.
that never existed again.
So it just becomes a little turtle with like because when it goes into battle, it turns into its other form.
Yeah,
its
the shell,
middle form.
the turtle.
Does that have? I guess it could still do that, right? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't have to die. It doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to have
terrestrialize.
Terra to do that, no.
Yeah,
And, but then
right.
it's just a.
But then it's, like,
it's a middling normal type. Then
the ability does nothing there because like no, that's got ability that the Terra shell.
Yeah.
yeah. I guess I don't have to have it in the game then. Yeah, all right.
I didn't get to take part in a banned format in
Ooh, that was very controversial. though.
in Sword and Shield, and I also didn't get to take part in the no gimmick format. So I think we've got a big season ahead of us. It would be interesting for 4 months to have a banned format or a no gimmick format.
But the thing is, the problem that they found with the banned format
Is there's vacuums
that-
that get filled.
is in like well, not so much that, but things that were being checked without us realizing it. Like if you go back, I think from memory, like Porygon 2 like escaped the ban or something like that, and then it became just like over centralized around P2 because it was like the best Pokemon not banned.
and that will always happen.
Yeah. So there'll be something that we don't realize as a S tier threat right now because all the things that are currently in the top 10 usage are checking it nicely, and then it'll just become an absolute menace. I don't know what it will be. Like I'm not part psychic type.
It could be pretty interesting though, because the saturation of like competitively viable threats in Scarlet and Violet in particular has just never been at this level before in the history of the game. So even if you do take 10 mons away, there'll be like 20 more to take its place.
This is completely off the top of my head. I'm shit talking, but like, imagine if you took both Urshifus away, Fluttermane away, Chen Pao away, right? Imagine Wo Chen. Like all its checks are gone.
That's not true.
But if you take away Chi Yu, Chen Pao, Fluttermane, both Urshifus, like all the things that like just are the things that you have to terrorize in front of every time you play Wo Chen, because I'm a Wo Chen user because I'm an idiot, but cool. I just think something like that would become quite frustrating, and I'm sure like Ting Lu would be the same as well. Like,
there would be just another something.
Exactly. There'll be things like Heatran. Yeah. There'll be random flying types. I mean, Tornadus is definitely gone, but
it's P 2.0.
Yeah,
really.
It's still a grass and dark type. Come on.
Oh, it's okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first. If they do a banned format, I want to come back to this episode and see if
see if you're spot on for Wo Chen.
We'll see how well you do with Wo Chen.
I have a quick, before we move on to something else, I want to do a quick cooked or cooking.
Okay.
Hit us.
All right. So one of those sleepless nights where I was just, my mind was going off into these weird and wonderful places. I did some damage calcs. I figured out that if you got a min speed Lunala with Iron Ball, because it's got base 97 speed, right?
Cooking.
If you got min speed Lunala with Iron Ball, it would underspeed pretty much every Trick Room, underspeeds Ursaluna, Ice Horse, you name it, right? It doesn't underspeed Amoonguss, but nothing does, or Torkoal. But it underspeeds like pretty much everything in Trick Room teams. And then I got on my phone and like looked up Pokemon Home and looked at my Lunalas from previous events and past generations. And there was one from like Sun and Moon that I'd caught in a, what's the one with the moon on it? The moon
Ball.
Moon Ball? The Moon Ball. Yeah, that one. With the moon on it.
The Moon Ball.
Looked like I had a Moon Ball. Legit. I don't have Hactamons, thank you. And had 2 IVs in speed. And that is the exact number you need to underspeed a base 50 Pokemon under Trick Room. So I have devised an Iron Ball Lunala Trick Room team with which got expanding force, psychic spam, obviously, with other threats on the team. Cooked or cooking, Trick Room Lunala.
It's better than using Dawn Wings.
It's got the Shadow Shield, yeah.
Yeah, it is
also,
much better than
it is a Trick Room setter. And if you have like priority blocking plus Lunala, with Lunala got Wide Guard as well, like it's very difficult. You can't just spam Snarl like against Trick Room because you've got Lunala with Wide Guard there to protect the other Trick Room setter. So I think it's cooked or cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really liked Wide Guard on restricted themselves because you want to be hitting with those things. But yeah, I really like the idea. If you're going to be using it under Trick Room, I can imagine it gets Trick or something. That could be pretty fun.
No, you're like, totally cooked. This is terrible. I'd say it'd be viable maybe in a 2 restricted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it has merit in a 1 restricted.
Joel?
Cooked.
All right, I'll prove you guys wrong. All right, continue where you were, Joel.
Shall we debate who is the best Pokemon in Reg G?
I'm a master debater. I'm ready.
Is there Iron Ball Lunala on this list?
No, there is not.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, first 2 Pokemon we're going to debate.
Hit us.
Gentlemen,
Hit us.
Gyarados, Latios.
Oh, that's a harsh one to start.
You said it's clearly Gyarados.
I was going to say Gyarados.
It's a legacy mod. It's got so much history in the game and great Moxie and Intimidate. I mean, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is that close actually.
And Latios is just some dumb like. When
People like Latios though.
People
Maybe
love
it doesn't
Latios.
I know there's
with Latios.
fanboys and girls, but like my point is like when they had their megas, they just gave it like a generic mega
so
for both
shit,
types.
yeah.
Ever since then, it's just been like they really phoned it in on this Pokemon. So.
These are both mons that got totally shafted when they moved to 3D sprites as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Latios's 2D sprite was just like perfection.
It was.
Same with Tyranitar, they've cooked the sprite over the years.
Don't start me with that.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm just going to go Gyarados because I think it's relevant. Well, they're both competitively relevant, but Gyarados has just got so much rich history.
Gyarados is one of the, I mean, it's like a Pokemon icon, but a great legacy Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's where my vote
I'm
goes.
going with Gary.
Probably should be Dragon
still holds
type.
up these days. It's a harsh matchup for Latios to come up against.
Very sorry, Latios. Who wants to tear Latios in half? Chris can.
Yeah. Wait, can I get the sound effect? Hang on.
That
was good.
Thank you.
ASMR going.
Yeah, so I think Gyarados should have been Water Dragon just quietly.
This is going to be heavily debated in this group.
Oh, no.
Ogerpon, Cornerstone, and Toedscruel.
Shit.
I like Toedscruel better.
I'm willing to have a look. I know that there are people on this panel that will hate me for not voting Cornerstone Ogerpon. I was never one of the what do we call it? The corner
Corner
call. I was never a corner call player. I was someone who complained about all the other corner call players. Toadscruel is my second favorite Pokemon ever. I think
Behind Umbreon.
Thank you for paying attention to my life. And just seeing it run around on its little legs. I think Rage Powder into a electric immunity is a very cool niche. It can put Goldingo to sleep. Name something else that can do that. It's a great design. I think it probably needed a second ability other than Mycelium Might to be competitively viable because it's very awkward to use. But it can do some shit that no one else can do, and it's cool and cute, and it's got a banger shiny as well. So Toadscruel 100%, and we're not even discussing the other one because it's shit.
Ogerpon Cornerstone is my favorite Ogerpon variant from a design perspective. I think that mask it's very cool. It feels very like traditional, very islandy, which I think is like kind of what Kitakami is trying to be. So I think it's like the most in line with that region as a design. Don't get me wrong, Toadscruel is very cool, top tier, shiny, but I love Ogerpon Cornerstone more than I love Toadscruel.
I have to vote Toadscruel, I reckon. I think it's just cooler. It's goofy as hell looking.
It gets Trick Room.
Does it? I didn't know that.
It does.
Is this a win for Toadscruel, Ethan?
I think it is. I'm Team Toadscruel as well. It just Convergent Evolutions are so cool. I really like the idea.
Here we go, people. This is Ogerpon going bye-bye.
Yeah, it is really good. That noise.
Okay.
I love Toadscruel's legs when it runs.
Yeah, it can Rage Powder overcoat Pokemon. Like, it's just so good.
Okay. Here's a very boring pairing. Base Cantonian Tauros Probopass.
I'm going to say Probopass.
Yep.
They both suck, but Probopass sucks less because at least it's funny.
Probopass is a bit of a meme, but if you've ever watched, I don't know if anyone's ever like faced one in the game or used one because it's not very common, but the animations when it attack, all its little heads spin around, and like when it does Power Gem and stuff, it looks badass. And it's got a gold shiny, which is always a cool thing.
Also, the cry is fantastic.
The piss shiny.
It's gold. Also, a Taurus, like get a Prevolution with Miltank or get the fuck out.
Yeah. I might have to agree. Base Tauros is kind of lame. Mm-hmm. The mustache kind of just like beats it out, right?
Bye-bye, Gen 1.
I mean, it is
your vote. Joel. You're just like, no, it doesn't matter.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay,
don't get me wrong. Probopass is not going to win this competition because it is Sakataka at home, and it's like Wish.com Sakataka, and it's shit.
Sakataka with a disguise on, with like the big nose and the mustache, right?
It's Bastion on at home.
It's definitely not Sakataka.
Typhlosion, Hisuian, Poliwrath.
No contest.
So
I know Ethan's leaning towards Typhlosion.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay, so I remember, this is showing my age, but in Gold and Silver, when I played, you could actually get it was Mind Reader Dynamic Punch Poliwrath. It was a thing, and I really enjoyed that meme. And Poliwrath is one of my favorite line of Pokemon. The whole family, all four of them are awesome. They should get Fake Out, by the way, but they don't, but they should. Poliwrath for the memes and the memories, and it's got a tap hole with fists, and he's just really cool. And I just wish he was better. And he also gets Belly Drum. He's like the original OP Belly Drum user.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just really cool. Dynamic Punch was a signature move of his, basically.
Ethan.
I don't know. I never really got the Poliwag line. Like, I get that it's meant to be tadpoles and stuff, but like, turning tadpoles into like humanoid dudes is a little bit strange. And like Poliwrath as a design doesn't really stand on its own 2 feet. It's kind of in this sort of awkward spot of being derivative of the
it's
other ones.
bipedal, Ethan, don't worry.
So humanoid, right? Yeah, it's just like Poliwag is cute and that's okay. Then Poliwell comes along and like you just look at him as like empty brain, no thoughts. I vibe with that. But then Poliwrath comes along and it's just Poliwell but angry.
Poliwell but angry.
And I don't know. The one thing I can say for it is that I hate Politoed more. But but no, I don't think it's a very inspired
Tell us
design.
about Typhlosion then.
Yes, Typhlosion on the other hand.
Hisuian.
Yeah. So I think that the Hisuian Typhlosion is an improvement on the original design in virtually every way. Like the OG Typhlosion, I think, still wins for nostalgia factor and the fact that it's just really cool. You got a weasel and it's got a ruff and it just goes. It's cool, but like you turn that shit into ghosts,
And you got a dead weasel.
I will.
yes,
I'm not trying to argue for Hisuian Typhlosion, but having the niche of Choice Scarf Eruption immune to fake out
Yeah.
with sun support is very cool.
it's very cool.
Yeah.
And I have tried that many times on ladder.
Dan, your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm gonna have to go with Typhlosion. I think it just looks better. It's cool. It's even competitively viable.
I'm very sorry, Chris.
Can I do
but-
this one? Can I do this one?
No. I mean, well, yeah, if you want. It is Chris's Polyrath that loses out.
No, yeah, go for
No,
it.
I need to destroy this with great prejudice.
That was good.
I
gonna take it
understand.
again.
I understand the design argument. I don't know why Pokemon Company went through an era where they just put random items of clothing on. Like I'm thinking, like Tangela, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. Sorry, Poliwrath with just random gloves on. Like I don't like Pokemon that have human clothing, but Poliwrath was an exception.
That's fair.
They
Okay.
also had that thing was like make them angry, right? Like you said, like Mankey, Primate. It's now just a monkey that's angry.
with random shoes on.
and then it became an angry dead monkey.
Yeah.
With random shoes on.
That
and
was
and
an improvement.
That is dope, right? Annihilate is amazing.
Yeah.
And also they just gave like Primate like a random BDSM like kink like necklace, like collar, the collar, the choker,
choker, I'm
the
back
choker.
Sudowoodo and Haxorus.
Oh,
Two ugly dumb Pokemon.
I think Sudowoodo had a really big part in Gen 2 anime.
Yeah.
I just remember it being hilarious because I was young. And I think Haxorus is just it's a meh powerhouse Pokemon.
It was the first.
Yeah.
It was the first like
Excuse
stage.
me.
It was a, it was like the first. It's got Mole Breaker, which is cool. It's got the first. It was the first like stage 3 dragon type that wasn't a pseudo powerhouse Pokemon.
Isn't it the pseudo for Gen 5?
No, it's
not?
got a BS. It's got a shit BST as well.
I didn't
It's
know
not. It's not the pseudo. The pseudo for Gen 5 was Hydreigon.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
yeah. There's pros and cons to both, but I think I'm in Team Sudowoodo just because like the depth of the lore with that mon is just so cool. The fact that it's a fake tree, it's actually weak to water because it's secretly a rock type. and
Yeah.
you just like spray water on them and they fuck off and you can go where you want. That's cool. That's really, really cool. And I've been playing through Black White 2 pretty recently, and I've been kind of impressed by the depth of the lore with a lot of the new Unova Pokemon, but I don't think that Haxorus is one of those. He's just like a big dragon guy with lots of knives on him, and all the 12-year-olds think he's edgy and cool.
He
Because
does.
he's an act.
But that does not imply depth.
He does have an incredible shiny. It's a
Yes.
black shiny,
Yeah.
and I think that
It's
points.
edgy.
I'm not some.
It's Shadow the Hedgehog
I'm
as
not
a
some.
Pokemon.
I'm not like My Chemical Romance over here. Like, yay, goth, just like shinies. I'm just saying it's cool. Like Sudowoodo is funnier. Like I remember having to use a squirt bottle to wake it up back in Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I'm indifferent. Whatever you guys want.
Dan.
I vote Haxorus.
Oh.
I'm an edgy emo boy.
Okay, you do have to make a choice now, Chris.
What was your vote? Sorry, John.
Sudowoodo.
It's 2 versus 1. You could tie it and make it annoying.
I have a very fond memory of actually going into the area in Scarlet Violet with that autumn forest with all the toad schools under the trees and that area next to the lake.
Yeah.
I remember just chilling around there on my motorbike, and I just randomly did a double take, like, what is that standing over there? And it was a shiny Sudowoodo just randomly standing there, full on shiny Sudowoodo just standing there. And I was like, okay. So for that core memory, Sudowoodo.
Voting another piss shiny. Come on.
Here you
Why
go,
do I
Dan.
have to rip him? Oh, no.
It is satisfying.
Oh, God.
Oh, another mid pairing.
Yeah, okay. We can do double elimination.
If I get this wrong, Cincino and Persian Alola.
It's Persian every day for me.
I was going to say Persian because it's
the Garfield.
Big fucking head.
big
Yeah.
fucking head, still fast for some reason.
Do you remember that story I told in a previous episode how I got on one of he who should not be named YouTuber that hates the community. I got one of these videos with my Psycup Snarl. It was a Zerkatry team with tail glow.
your tail glow, tail bat and snarl.
And I psyched up with Persian and just swept a team with +3 Snarl and +3 Icy Wind. So a Persian it's a hilariously good design. Fur coat, great ability. I think it was the first Pokemon to get that ability.
It wasn't. There was Furfrou in X and Y.
Well, is that in this? Okay. Is that the same gen? No, it's not Alolan. No, you're right. It wasn't. It's just Persian's always been like one of those Pokemon you can't ever discount it. Like it's still 110 base speed isn't when it used to be, but it's got Fake Out, it's got Snarl, it's got Quash. It gets Quash. Persian.
Yeah,
is that universal for Persian?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Megamind wins.
Bye-bye. Cincino, Cincino. Dan, you're Italian. How do I pronounce that?
Cincino.
Cincino. Bye-bye.
It's actually, I read a Twitter, I'm thinking of Twitter stuff. Someone was like, can we please appreciate it's not based on is it Chinchilla? There's like a Mexican mouse that it's based on.
Chinchilla, isn't it?
Chinchilla.
Yeah.
Based on a chinchilla, which is where the name comes from. I never picked that up. So
what's that city in Ohio?
Ohio gozaimasu.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know anything about America.
Neither. I think this is an easy win. Weavile, Meowstic, Male.
Okay, if you're all about to say fucking Weavile, Meowstic Male all the way. It's fabulous. It's got a beautiful shiny and it gets prankster gravity.
Weevil Shiny's pink.
Hideous.
It's a terrible shiny, but I'm still going to vote Weavile because I have core Sinnoh memories.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a beautiful Pokemon. It was very, very good until Chien-Pao came along and power crept it.
I am also on Weavile.
Same.
It's a cat. Let me rip it up then. I want to be the one responsible for this. Sorry, Meowstic. I think you're fabulous. And so is your female companion as well. You guys look they're like scarves and they're just cute.
The only memories I have of male Meowstic is it being fucking annoying.
Okay. Crowd favorite. Ursaluna Blood Moon versus Brambleghast.
Brambleghast every day. Fuck Ursaluna and everything it stands for.
Yeah, I think Blood Moon was just silly. The Mind's Eye ability and the Blood Moon attack are both cracked. Brambleghast is a tumbleweed Pokemon. And again, core memory, just chilling, walking around, and a shiny just blew past. Literally, you know how they catch the wind in the game and go flying past you?
Yeah.
I had to chase a shiny one that was blowing in the wind.
Chris, of course, bragging that his game was glitched and he had full odd shinies almost every day.
Well, that's just rigged. You can't get a shiny Blood Moon.
What's your point?
I actually thoroughly enjoyed doing the Ursaluna soft resetting with the Arboliver. I don't know what it was.
Madman.
I don't know what it was, but using the
I know what it
Arboliver
is,
to get the 0-1 attack.
It's the strength sap, so you know how much.
With the specific.
IVs,
Get a life, Jesus.
No. It was a fun, in my opinion, hunt for the right stats because it was using such unique Pokemon. So you could argue that's a vote for Arboliver, but I enjoyed getting my Ursaluna Blood Moon. I think the design is pretty cool, and I think competitively it is very good. Brambleghast to me is not overly inspired. So
Windrider.
So my vote goes to Ursaluna.
Yeah, I'm a Blood Moon stan. I'm gonna have to tie it. Sorry.
All right. Can one of us be turned, or do we bring in a tiebreaker vote?
I mean, if one of you guys can be turned to Ursaluna, then sure.
It's
you
not
guys
happening. Fucking best kill on site for me.
we are going to have to introduce our tiebreaker.
Video referee.
Sitting in the corner, the video referee.
They are both in TCG as well.
I know. Welcome to the podcast, Aaron Cole, who deserves to stay between Ursaluna Blood Moon and Brambleghast.
Blood Moon's badass.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well.
Brambleghast is a tumbleweed. Come on, man. You pull that shit and throw it in the bin, mate.
Who invited this piece of shit onto the show?
Oh, good rips.
Yeah, plus Moxie Booster put me in a video and pronounced my name wrong with that one, so that's an extra point against.
Can I just ask
Brambleghast.
how he pronounced it?
It was all right, context, one of my alts was called Danarchy, because haha, edgy, anarchy with a D at the front.
Oh,
and
dear.
he's like, Denorky, or some shit
Denorky.
like that.
Denorky
Yeah.
Begulai.
Next pairing.
Roaring Moon, Ludicolo.
Oh, it's Ludicolo every day. I love that mon.
There was a Perth Gamers, and yes, that is GAYMEIS. Yeah, Perth Gamers did a Pokemon gym leader. It was actually a national competition, and we had to like be gym leaders, and everyone had to verse us and get like points, and whoever had like the most points from defending their gym or beating other gym leaders. I won a set of Kanto badges, gym badges for winning this Perth Gamers Pokemon competition.
Which gym leader were you?
I was Grass. And I had a.
Why are you laughing at that?
I don't know.
Actually, no, I take it back. It was it was called the Moist badge.
Okay.
And it was it was a Grass, but I had a Swift Swim Ludicolo with an Absorb Bulb and a Pokemon with Surf.
Oh,
and
nice.
I think it was Politoed with Surf to like trigger the Absorb Bulb, and like it had like Swift Swim. Anyway, the point is Ludicolo has got some good memories of my winning team, Ludicolo.
I'm very sorry, Kieran Singh, Melbourne Regional Champion, friend of the show. I also want Ludicolo.
Yeah, it's a dancing pineapple, man. What's not to love about him?
Ludicolo.
This Roaring Moon is just a rip-off of Mega Salamence. Like, come on.
It's true. Which what's going to happen when they're both in the same game potentially? Ooh.
Mega Salamence must be better, I think.
Yeah. Area Relate is a move as an ability I'd like to see back in the game in some
on something
capacity.
else,
Give it to like a Ledian evolution or something. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly,
bring it back. All the
Give it
eights.
to Brambleghast.
I'm scared.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
What is it?
Palkia Pillow Swine. I'm scared that you guys are going to do me dirty and vote out Palkia.
No, I think
Palkia is my favorite Pokemon.
what?
Yes.
Really?
I just
Straight
thought
up.
better of you.
My first game that I was ever able to play for Pokemon was Pearl. I still have my original Palkia with 2 speed IVs in home.
Ooh.
Yeah. I played it in a Trick Room team in Sword and Shield.
I remember.
I love Palkia to bits. For my wedding, I had a vest made for photos that had a Palkia screen printed on the back of it.
Should we just give him Palkia?
I feel like voting Pillow Swine. This is too
much.
sappy.
Too personal.
I do remember the first times before internet spoilers. I remember the first time playing Gold and Silver and seeing Piloswine, and that Powder Snow was this new attack, and I was like, "What's that? It's got this cool new move that just fuck all in like real life." But I've got fond memories of being like this cool mammoth Pokemon. Look, I'm happy to go Palkia just to make Joel's day.
I appreciate you, Chris.
You didn't get Zekrom right, so you can have this.
I think my vote is for Palkia because like my first game was also Pearl, right? And it's just one of those cool lore things that just like 12-year-old me just
Fucking
I love
loved it.
him.
Yeah.
And he has a penis for a neck, so Dick Dragon.
Dragon.
Plus shiny looks more like a dick.
If there are any fan artists in the audience, I really want a fan art of like Palkia in a gumshoe
You're
trench
hunting what
coat.
you want, Chris. My God.
It's just like the Adventures of Dick Dragon. It's a great detective name.
The Adventures of Dick Guard. Oh, God. Okay.
I want to draw this now.
Yeah, please.
We all get to draw one out of this after this, surely.
Okay. Hisuian Quillfish Lucario.
Is it back? Or was this regular Quillfish that made the
Where was
appearance
the
last
Quillfish? The regular
Okay.
Quillfish.
I mean, Anubis is badass. It kind of reminds me of Scorpion from Mortal Kombat with the shiny does anyway. So I'm going Lucario.
Lucario.
I think Lucario is just a clear winner.
Agreed, yeah.
Cool. All right, Dan, you draw from the jar of
Can I
destiny.
say this one?
Sure. Ethan's going to do with some ASMR.
I love this.
Good rips.
Pick a card, any
I've got one.
card.
Good work drawing 2.
Just draws a giant handful.
Well, obviously they're not shuffled if we've got Pillow Swine and Palkia, so I'm trying to make it random.
All right, what did we end up with?
We have Rotom Base and Goodra.
Gudra.
Also Gudra base?
Yes, not its other form.
Should have been Water Dragon. I said that twice tonight. Should have been Water Dragon.
I'm gonna say Rotom, little lightning plasma guy. I never really liked the appliances per se. I like the concept of them, but the designs and how competitively huge they were was just
Rotom.
It didn't sit right with me, but like base Rotom, cute little guy, sat in tellies. I loved him.
It's just a
I'll
little
go
guy.
Rotom too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to go Rotom. I just liked how you got it. Wasn't it like a Friday night or something
Yeah.
in the game? It
There's
was
a
actually
little cutscene.
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
old
that's
chateau
right,
was
yeah.
just spooky
Yeah.
vibes. I love that place.
Congratulations, Rotom.
I'm ripping Gudra. I'm sorry.
Ethan,
Me?
give us a pair.
All right.
A pair from the jar.
What do you have for me, Jar? I'm trying to make this random.
I mean, Mark assured me that he shuffled it, but we did get 2 Ps next
Yeah,
to each other.
shit, he did. Okay, what have we got? Ooh, Clefable and Meowscarada.
Meowscarada.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
Reg A, fucking love that mon.
I'm usually a cat enthusiast, but Clefable, like that remember that Mount Moon episode of the anime where all the Clefairy are doing metronome? I was in love with the Clefairy line from that moment on, and Clefable is still just like the Life Orb Magic Guard Clefable sets. They're just
What?
I played meta games before you guys did. Clefable's just always been a cool. I still think to this day you could still probably bring Clefable to a Reg G tournament and not do terribly. I think it's got a niche. I love it, and it's got little green ears for the shiny Clefable.
I dislike both of these Pokemon.
Which one do you dislike the least?
This is where I'm at, and I think I dislike Meowscarada less because while I am aligned with hatred, while I'm in my villain arc in this moment, I think that I dislike Meowscarada less because it is prejudicial towards Dondozo, and I also hate Dondozo. So if it beats Dondozo, it's all right with me. Therefore, Meowscarada.
I like Meowscarada. It was cool. It was like Urshifu at home in Reggae.
Good work, boys.
I don't like its dumb face, but yeah, all right.
Fuck pink blobs, to be honest.
So I
That's
get the
how I feel.
I get the lucky last pairing of the episode, and I think this is pretty clear. I got the shittest, like this is a landslide. Gardevoir
Gardevoir.
and Wug Trio. Yeah.
I said I love Convergent Evolutions, but Wug Trio is shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard last episode Alistair talking about his love for Mega Gardevoir and the Mega with the big dress and the shiny with the big black dress.
Yeah.
Titty Goth Gardevoir.
I'll admit, Mega Gardevoir kind of hits hard. I can't see how Wug Trio could ever possibly get a vote over any other Pokemon, really, not just Gardevoir, but any other Pokemon.
Yeah. Any.
Like, literally any.
Any.
So, I think I'm just going to rip Wug Trio off the bat.
Yeah.
Bugtrio's only good thing was that it had like a 12-inch plushie that they released for it. They did. It
Is that even a plus, though?
What was it, each wug? 12 inches?
For a total of 36?
Built for your pleasure. Before we sign off quickly, hashtag Wolfie Goes Down Under. Please, I need people to hashtag Wolfie Goes Down Under. We need to get him to Perth so we can lose to him. But think of the exposure for the Australian VGC community. Maybe it would get us a stream and some commentators. Maybe that ESL Australia might stand up and put on more events if they know that there are going to be international level players coming to Australia to compete. I think it could be really good for the competitive scene. Plus, I get to meet him in real life.
Yeah.
We'll be able to
Before you
invite
get
him on
it-
the podcast.
Before you get a restraining order.
We can apologize to him in person for adding him to our group chat.
And for all your memes that you've made of it.
It's your campaign.
You're an accomplice.
He's
and you
just
know
an
it.
employer, an employee even.
Hey, paid him shit.
You guys getting paid?
Well, on that bombshell of Gardevoir beating Wug Trio, we wrap up today's episode. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today, and thank you to everyone at home for listening to us, taking the time out of your day. We appreciate that, and we hope that you join us again. Don't forget to follow us on X at the02drop_VGC. We are now on YouTube at the O2drop. So follow us on your favorite listening app. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us likes, give us reviews, give us a shout out in person. Until next time. For what? Oh, wait, never mind.
Cut
Cut that.